Okay, let's do problem 8. Here they say determine whether each triangle is right, acute, or obtuse. Okay, so this is one application of Pythagorean theorem that is kind of unique, but happens to come up a lot on tests and quizzes. And so all we have to do here is apply the Pythagorean theorem. I'll show you guys how. So we have a, b, and c. We're going to say a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which we know. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. And the test here to tell whether it's right, acute, or obtuse is by determining if the Pythagorean theorem set up here is true or not. If the Pythagorean theorem, when we set it up, is true, the triangle is a right triangle. And then we'll talk about the other scenarios for parts B and C. This one is going to be 9 plus 16 equals 25. That's true. And so this is a right triangle. Okay, for part B, we have 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5.1 squared. And so we have 9 plus 16. I'm going to leave a blank there. Instead of the equal sign, I'm just going to put a blank. And I'm going to say 5.1 squared. 5.1 squared, even without knowing what exactly that is, it's going to be a little bit more than 25 because we know 5 squared is 25 exactly. So let's just call this 25.5 approximately. We don't care exactly what it is. We just know it's bigger than 25. 9 plus 16 we know is exactly 25. So if I'm going to use inequality notation like that, I'm going to say 9 plus 16 is less than 5.1 squared, or approximately 25.5. Because the hypotenuse is bigger than the a squared plus b squared, than 9 plus 16, this is going to be an obtuse triangle. Okay. And so this is c squared is bigger than a squared plus b squared. Okay, and so acute is going to be the opposite. C squared is less than a squared plus b squared. And right is where the Pythagorean theorem is true. Okay, and so C, even without setting up part C, can we kind of figure this one out just by looking and thinking it through? I think we can, because we know in part A, 3 squared plus 4 squared exactly equaled 5 squared. In part B, 5.1 squared was a little bit bigger than a squared plus b squared. And here, because C is a little bit less than 5, I think it's safe to say that 9 plus 16 is going to be greater than 4.9 squared. Because that's the case, we're going to have our acute scenario, and we're going to call this an acute triangle.